Hey friends, I had done this video and then now I have to do it because I didn't export appropriately, which is annoying. So trying to do the best to backstep with this file that I was working on. Hopefully it makes sense the best I can. So I'm going to need to rearrange all of these guides and all of my perspective lines. So as you watch me work through this, and sometimes you're going to have to figure this stuff out, which is, not the easiest. So I'm just trying to match this up the best I can. And yours is going to look so much better than mine because you're not having to do all these steps. As you can see, my perspective planes are very off because I had shifted everything and slightly a mess. So we're going to just do it anyway. So we're holding up our type tool, keyboard shortcut T, and up here we're typing in, I'm just do a point type, La, no, Vel, Fem. And we're going to take this to Trajan Pro 3. We want our font to be 20. And we want this to be centered align. So we're going to take the perspective selective tool and we're going to take this and pull it in. It's not going to look that great because I have already adjusted all the things. And while we're at it, with this type, we're going to actually, with the perspective selective tool, double click to isolate our font and make that into a white fill. We want to select Fem and we're going to change its height to 24 and its leading to 22. And it kind of nests it closer. When you go into this isolation mode, it's going to kind of double look that, or click escape to take it out of it, and it's there. So we're going to move a plane to match an object, which may look very weird because I just moved a bunch of planes. So, and I'm actually going to open up a start file because I have moved things around. I'm going to select this La Nouvelle Femme and paste it here. Yours is going to be right here. We're going to transform it outside the plane, object, arrange, or object transform, go to rotate, and we want it to be 90 preview. And it's easier to do this because then once you pull it into perspective plane, it gets weird. So we're going to take the perspective selection tool and we're going to click the right face of the tall box right here. Go to Object, Perspective, Move Plane to Match. And it places it there. That's totes fine. And we're going to move this La Nouvelle Femme and it does it in perspective. You can see the lines of these will match up. And next we're going to take this red flower, bring it onto here, and we're going to need to scale it down by holding down Shift Alt for Windows or Shift Option for Mac OS, and we want it to be a width of 0.5 inches. Pulling down this. There we go, and we're going to bring it to right around here and it should be underneath that E a little bit. Do Command S to save. So next we're going to add symbols to the perspective grid. So we're holding up the symbols, which is this clover dude. And what we're going to do is drag this orange kind of outside over here. Yours is going to say, I think, perfume. Mine says pencil because I've made adjustments. We'll get to that in a moment. And what we're going to do is with the perspective selection tool, drag the symbol to the bottom of the left side of the box and attach it to the left grid pane. So it's like all the way up here, and we're just going to drag it down to this left plane, but it doesn't really want to go there. So we're going to select this left plane and take it out. Make sure we're on the left plane. And it doesn't want to match to that plane. And that's because our left plane is over here, so I'm just going and move it here. Well, what it should do is nest into that left plane very nicely. Mine is not, because I've played around with these planes a bit much. Left plane. You know, I want to make sure I'm on my left plane when I do this. There we go. Now it's nesting on in a lot nicer, and it fits right there. Cool. Editing symbols in perspective. Mine says pencils, yours says perfume. So we're going to double click the orange flower thumbnail in the symbols panel right here. And we're actually going to go into outline so we can see it better. Take your type tool, where it says perfume, just type in pencil and it will make those adjustments. And press escape twice and those adjustments will be made, and do a Command S. So the next we're going to do is grouping contents in perspective. So we're going to make sure everything is deselected. And we're going to select this box here, so we're just going to click and drag around it just like the selection tool. Do a Command G. And we're going to actually do object arrange, send backward. And we want it just to be behind this orange box there. And we're going to apply graphic styles. So we're going to pull up the graphic styles there and apply the drop shadow, which is this one. And it's going to add just a drop shadow to it, as you can see, a nice little softness. The next is we're going to hold down Shift and click both these just rectangles for the tall one and apply the same drop shadow. It's doing it there, so we want to group them, then apply to the drop shadow, and see if you didn't group them, that's what happens. So releasing content from perspective. So the client wants this box kind of smaller underneath. So what we're going to do is, with the perspective selection tool, shift drag small box. What we're going to do is edit, copy, Command C, and Command V. So we have another version of it. Choose object perspective, release with perspective. And if we remove it, it would kind of move around with perspective. But it's not doing that, so that's fine. Just make sure you do a Command G to group it. What we're going to do is Object, Transform, Scale, Uniform 20, Scale Strokes and Effects, and it's going to make it nice and tiny. We're going to pull up our Layers panel, open up Other Artwork, and Shift and with our Selection tool, Shift and drag the smaller box to the right of Order Online Today. Command Shift I to hide that. Now earlier I had, in my other video, I had these two objects were way too close. I just did a box and selected, and then I moved them, but that changed my perspective grid, so keep that in mind when you do that. So you're going to do a Command S to save. And we have objects on the outside of our artboard, so we'll need to export, JPEG, use artboards, range 1, and then just do 2, because this is my second export, and do OK. And it should export just fine. And then this video was kind of rushed because I had to redo it, and I apologize, but we'll see you for lesson 10.